Diamond League Athletics action on BBC One. Gabby Logan presents highlights from Rome's Olympic Stadium.
Welcome to our Diamond League coverage from Rome. And for the world's leading athletes, it's their first European stop on their summer-long journey around the globe. And the Eternal City attracts the very best in track and field.
But it's going to be Pearson. Pearson for a quarter. She rules supreme in this event.
Gatlin, 991. Another scintillating run. Amos wins it. Nigel Amos is the Commonwealth champion.
For some, a world record now seems an achievable dream. Renaud Lavillenie has the outdoor record in his sights in the pole vault. Jonathan Edwards' triple jump record has stood for 20 years. Now it's seriously threatened by a young Cuban, Pedro Pablo Picardo.
Oh, that is a huge effort. It's 18 metres and 6 centimetres. That is massive.
We'll see both Picardo and Lavillenie in action, plus twice banned Justin Gatlin, who's setting personal, not world records at the age of 33.
It's all about Gatlin! And he's throwing the gauntlet down to the Jamaicans.
And there's a new star of women's sprint hurdling, Jasmine Stowers. It's a big week for Diamond League athletics, with Rome and Birmingham both staging high-profile meetings within 4 days. Rome has been the home to track and field's Golden Gala since 1980. A city renowned for its art and historical sites is also home to the Stadio Olimpico, the venue for the 1960 Olympics. Your commentators there are Tim Hutchings and Stuart Story.
Well, welcome to the magnificent Olympic Stadium and to the 4th Diamond League meeting, the Golden Gala, a meeting associated with one of Italy's favourite sons, the late Pietro Manea, who held the world record for 200 metres for 17 years. It's a good meeting in prospect, and alongside me is Tim Hutchins. Your thoughts?
Well, Stuart, we know this is a quick track, conditions very good. It's been a sweltering hot day in Rome here. The sun has gone down from the stadium, but still 27 degrees centigrade. Slight breeze across the stadium, but we know it's a quick track for the sprinters. I'm looking forward in particular to the middle distance clashes. There is a wonderful matchup in the men's 800, Aman versus Amos. In the women's 1500, that's very special. Jenny Simpson, the winner in Eugene, is up against Dawit Sayum, the Ethiopian teenage sensation who tops the world rankings. And in the men's 5,000, a collection of very quick East Africans who have lost to Mo Farah in recent major championships. Just how fast can they go tonight in these wonderful conditions?
Yeah, there is a lot to look forward to, and certainly in the first event, the men's 400-metre hurdles. The meeting record's 47.73, set by Felix Sanchez all those years ago, but it's a very good lineup. Kapatoshki of Italy drawn on the inside, Barr of Ireland in 2, Maggi of Estonia in 3, Tinsley USA 4, Dutch USA 5, Coulson Puerto Rico 6, Hussein of Switzerland 7, Gordon Trinidad and Tobago in 8, and then Shalyi of Russia in lane 9. Conditions absolutely perfect. It's absolutely still in the stadium here. Not much in it as they go to the first hurdle. It's pretty even. Right on the outside, Jehu Gordon's gone off pretty quickly. One would expect that against the Russian. And so has Javier Coulson of Puerto Rico going well, being chased by Johnny Dutch. Tinsley not quite in contact yet as they approach 200 metres. But between 2 and 3, this is where it's all going to happen. Johnny Dutch is there going very, very strongly indeed. And Tinsley now has a little bit to do as they come into the final corner of this 400-metre race. And Dutch is leading into the straight. Outside him is Coulson. And Dutch and Coulson, this is very strong run from the man who won in Eugene. He looks strong, doesn't he? Here comes Mike Tinsley on the inside. But Johnny Dutch and Tinsley and Coulson in that order at the moment. Johnny Dutch is going to get it there. 48.13, and we still haven't got that sub-48 second run. But Johnny Dutch once again proves he's the man to beat. He won in Eugene, 48.20. He's gone a little bit quicker here. But that was a good competitive race. You can't ask for better conditions than they've got here And Mike Tinsley closing down very, very quickly in the end, wasn't he? Coming off that last bend, well, really Dutch had it all in control.
He did, yeah, but I was impressed with how fast Tinsley finished. He misjudged it, I think. The man in blue there in lane 4, Tinsley, the Olympic Games silver medalist from 2012, was closing down all the time, but a brilliant win from Dutch yet again after that victory in Eugene, and only one athlete's gone quicker than that this year.
It was a very, very strong run indeed, and Dutch, the World Junior Championship silver medalist, remember, in 2008. He won here in 2013. He's done it again here in 2015. A very, very good win indeed. Well, there's the confirmation of the result of the 400-metre hurdles. Johnny Dutch 48.13, Mike Tinsley 48.34, Javier Coulson 48.65, and the Irishman with that new national record.
Coming up, there's a high-class men's 800 metres that includes the World, Commonwealth and European champions. The women's 100-metre hurdles promises to be one of the races of the night. Can Sally Pearson or Britain's Tiffany Porter stop Jasmine Stowers of the USA? And we'll finish with the women's 400 hurdles as Britain's Ailey Child makes her first Diamond League appearance of the season.
Well, this is Julius Yego. Yego, the Kenyan, the Commonwealth champion from Glasgow last year. Only 6th in Doha, although he did throw 81.98 in far from ideal conditions. But the Kenyan, there with his opening effort, chasing the 80-metre line and going well beyond it. That a fabulous throw from the big Kenyan. It's around 83 metres, and that from Julius Yego is a superb opener. That really does give them something to chase. His best in all of last year was only 84.72, and that one has come down at 83.06. Well, the women's 200 metres now, and there's the lineup: Stay, Hooper, Williams, Tarmo, Strawn, Simpson, Facey and Stewart. And I can tell you that about 20 minutes ago we were handed a piece of paper saying that world champion Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce from Jamaica tweaked her hamstring warming up. She was due to start in lane 4 and has pulled out. Good crowd in this lovely stadium, which holds around 70,000, I think, but of course they're somewhat dwarfed by the massive seats. A very even start, good fast start from Bianca Williams too, and also going well out in 5 is Jenna Batamo. Tarmo leading at the moment, also a good run there on the bend from Karen Stewart down the straight. It's Tarmo who leads at the moment, being chased down by Karen Stewart. They're trying to come back at a good run from Stay over in lane 2. Hooper struggling a little bit, but that's a big, big win, and a comfortable win too from Jenna Batamo. Winning time 22.77. They were running into a minus 0.1 wind, so for all intents and purposes still air here in the stadium. They weren't getting any help from the wind. 22.77. Well, it doesn't appear anywhere even in the top 20 this year, so frustratingly slowish time there from Tarmo, despite leading from gun to tape fracture and a great bend in lane 5, chasing Strawn, and held on to it, Stu, even though there were 2 or 3 of them coming back at her down the home straight. Jenna Batamo then the winner in 22.77 in that women's 200 metres from Karen Stewart, 22.88, a season's best for her, and Simone Facey of Jamaica in 3rd.
Well, Renaud Lavillenie of France jumped 6 metres and 5 in Eugene. He is the world record holder, and he chooses 5 metres and 71 as his opening height, and that's the sort of height that a man of his calibre would choose. He has had a few hiccups in the past of early failures, but he's always prevailed in the end. The Olympic champion, 3 times the European champion. He won it in 2010, 2012, and again last year in Zurich. He's the true athlete. He's taken over the mantle of the world's #1. He's dominating it just as Sergei Bubka did all those years ago. And 6 metres and 16 is his world record, set in Donetsk in February last year, and he's performed indoors and out over that height, enjoying the participation of this crowd. So 5.71, first attempt, opening height, Renaud Lavillenie. Oh, well, he, as you can see, he clobbered that on the way down, but the height he got means that his high point was in the wrong place, because he was, we're going to another shot of this, he's way over the bar and just comes down on it. Now have a look at this. Now that's the sort of height, and watch him come down on the bar. His high point is just in front of the bar, and he can't avoid it. He can't unwind and get rid of it. But that's 6 metre plus vaulting if he can just get it right. Now back to the track and a men's 800 metres.
Yes, indeed, and what a lineup it is. Timothy Keatum, the Olympic bronze medalist from London, goes in this one. Pierre-Ambroise Boss as well goes in lane 4, a man who had such a wonderful season last year but ended up in 8th place in the European Championships. Look out to Mohamed Aman, the reigning world indoor and outdoor champion, came back to form last week in Eugene for a win. And Amos as well, the Olympic silver medalist behind Rudisha in 2012, who's also in great form, just couldn't claw his way back to first place in Eugene. World champion, as I say, from Moscow, world indoor champion last year to go with his win from 2012, and he won here in Rome in 2013 and 2014, did Mohamed Aman.
On your marks.
Well, are they going to be able to take advantage of still air and a beautiful warm evening here? Top left of picture, that is Bram Som, who's headed off very quickly. European champion himself back in 2006 in Gothenburg. Paced the 800 in Doha, won by Suleiman, and then the 1500 metres in Shanghai a couple of days later. They go through 200 metres there in around 24.5 seconds. And it is Boss who is in second place in that blue strip. He loves to go out aggressively, does Boss. Pretty good form, 4th in Doha in 1:44. A bit disappointing on the 1000 in Ostrava last week in 2:19. But it looks like Som has done a very good job as they approach 400 metres.
Yeah, it's a very good job. He does it around about 50 seconds each time. Boss, you're right. Aman, who's vastly improved since his first performance, of course, in Doha, where he was well down in 1:47 and then came back to win in Eugene at 1:44. Watch out for Lewandowski. Lewandowski is a good racer and comes very, very strongly in the end if he can get in position at this time. But Amos, absolutely, and Aman well in control at the moment behind Boss.
Boss inside the last 200 metres, then Aman on his shoulder. The Frenchman has really taken it to the rest of this field. Amos in 3rd place in the blue, the rest of them struggling to go with this pace. Quignot there in 4th place in the orange, but it's still Boss running the shortest line. He's forced Aman and Amos to take the wide line. Amos now with that sub 45 second 400 metre speed, trying to get past Aman, but Aman seems to have the strength again. It's a win once more rather than Eugene. It's Aman, Amos and Quignot coming through there, and a very late charge there from Quignot. Might have snatched 3rd place, I don't think so. I think he ended up in 4th place. The time 1:43.56. Wow, the fastest time in the world this year. And that is Mohamed Aman in his prime. He's really enjoying his racing now. There was this weird little hiccup to kick off his season in Doha. Nearly 3 weeks ago now. He was in 9th place in Doha. Inexplicable. Probably his worst run in 3 or 4 years. But normal service has been resumed. He won in Eugene last week with a big smile across his face. Turned back to challenge this man Amos, and he's done exactly the same again tonight. All credit to Boss for taking it to them for 750 metres, but he couldn't hang on.
There are the rest. Lewandowski coming into 6th place in the end at 1:44.25. There were so many season's bests. In fact, everybody got a season's best, and Aman got a world lead. Kershawn Walcott next up, and 79.52. Strange, really, he won that Olympic title with a throw that was way down. He's got a best of 85.77, which was his Zurich throw last year, but there are those who have thrown much further than him, but it came to the competition in the Olympic arena in London and he prevailed, and that's just over 80 metres. And the lead 80, well, was it 83? And then we've got 1 or 2 very, very good competitors to come in form of Pitkamaki, Vesely. They have yet to throw. There it is, in 3rd place, 80.59. Now then, Mr. Vesely, what can you do? Vesely, World Champion Javelin 2013, so he's going to defend his title, European Champion in 2012. Looking to go beyond 83 metres here. He's been inconsistent, but he looks though he hit that one well. Very, very inconsistent. Oh, and that's a big, big throw. That is a big throw. That's an 88-metre throw, and Vesely has found his form. It's breathless here, there's no wind to assist, and he really hammered that. And that 800-gram javelin has winged its way out to, well, the world's lead, 88-14. It's going to be very, very close, isn't it? I think it may be, oh no, it's not quite the season's best, but still 88-14. Well, that's put the target for Pitkamaki and the rest.
Well, Tiago Braz in this men's pole vault. One failure at 5.71 for the Brazilian. He had 2 shots at 5.56 before going clear. That's better. Yes, much neater. He's a 5.83 vaulter, is Braz. He's only 21 years old, the Brazilian. One of a very impressive, abrasive vaulters from Brazil. That's, well, on the way up towards his season's best of 5.75, which he cleared in Ostrava in dreadful conditions, it has to be said, 10 days ago. So that's, despite the X's, is fairly promising. More to come, surely, from the Brazilian.
Well, this is Alicia Trost of Italy. 1.90 metre being attempted here by her. And she's got a best of 1.98 set in 2013. We desperately need this. Jumped 1.91 last year. European under-23 champion in 2013. A couple of successes, as you can see, in second place. No. So, 2 more attempts, but Blanka Vlasic is, well, she's one of the greats actually in this event, twice world champion in 2007 and 2009, lost the Olympic final in 2008 on countback. Ooh, that's not at her best on this occasion.
The women's 100 hurdles may include the Olympic champion, the world champion and the British and European champion. But there's a new star shining brightly. The USA's Jasmine Stowers is now the woman to beat after she stormed to victory in Doha and ran the 7th fastest time in history.
There's the lineup for the 100-metre hurdles for women, and what a lineup it is. Talley of Belarus, Nelvis of the USA, Rollins USA, Pearson Australia, Porter Great Britain, Stowers USA, Harper Nelson USA, Queen Harrison USA, and Cindy Billot of France on the outside. Well, you've got 7 of the very best in the world, and you could be seeing really an early run of the World Championship final. Talley of Belarus, the European Championship silver medalist in 2012. She won the European under-23 title in 2011. A best of 12.70 set in Hengelo just recently. She's got that outside lane. Next to her is Sharika Nelvis of the United States, 12.54 in Doha. She was second in that race, and so very much coming into form. Now this is Rollins. Now Rollins this is Brianna Rollins. She absolutely dominated in 2013 and ran a very, very quick 12.26. Sally Pearson, of course, pressured now, but Olympic champion, world champion in 2011, was 4th in Doha. She's next to Tiff Porter, European champion, British record holder, World Championship bronze medalist in 2013 in Moscow. She's got a good lane next to Pearson, and next to her is the woman of the moment, Jasmine Stowers of the United States, 12.35. She's run a personal best on each of her outings this season, and that's quite something. Harper Nelson, the Olympic champion in 2008, just missed out, couldn't quite catch Sally Pearson in London in 2012. And this Queen Harrison, she's a 400-metre hurdler as well as a 100-metre hurdler, a finalist in the World Championships, very much on form. And Cindy Billot of France, the European Championship silver medalist in Zurich last year, as the outside lane. The last two Olympic champions, the European champion, the reigning world champion, all in this race. Talley, Nelvis, Rollins, Pearson, Porter, Stowers, Harper-Nelson, Harrison and Billot, the women's 100-metre hurdles. Well, Stowers got away well there. Pearson not so well away. Rollins going well, and here comes Stowers on the near side, on the far side. Nelvis going well. Stowers, look at this. Nelvis on the far side in lane 2. What about that? What about that? 12:52. But what happened to the champion? Stowers has stopped. There are several. Sally Pearson's gone down and is hurt, and she's obviously hurt her wrist. It all happened in that race, didn't it? We'll have to look at that again carefully and go through it, because Nelvis, who came through very, very strongly in the end, I must say, a very, very fine run. A personal best in 12:52, but she ran the race, and the rest, well, it all went wrong for most of them. It really did.
Quite bizarre, Stuart. I don't know what happened to Stowers. I don't know if she got clipped by Harper-Nelson or Porter, but she just drew to a stop after about 7 flights. Pearson there, I hope that's not a really bad injury to her left wrist, but she's gone down very, very heavily. Let's have a look at her fourth from right.
Look at Stowers as well on the near side. Watch Stowers. Oh, there's Pearson going down. Nelvis is going away. Stowers comes right across and hits the hurdle, and Harper-Nelson comes into second place, and Tiff Porter of Great Britain comes into third. But it was really war. That was war. Nelvis, actually the only clean athlete on the far side. She didn't hit too much at all. But let's have a look at Stowers now. One of the great, she's all over the place. Too high, came down, legs collapsed, and that is right against the form book. And that's it all. That's a bad, bad fall from Sally Pearson. I do hope that that's not a serious wrist injury. I really do. Oh, that was such a heavy fall. But there's the result. And Nelvis, 12:52, a personal best. Dawn Harper-Nelson came through to take second in 12:59, and Tiff Porter, 12:69 in third. But that was a race in which everything happened that shouldn't have done.
I feel it neither. Second attempt, 5:71. That's better. Not the sort of height you'd normally celebrate clearing, but for many athletes, it looks like it could be the end of their competition here tonight. I can tell you that 8 athletes have failed this height twice. Now, by how much does he go clear? Look at that. Oh, my word. That's 5:71. Well, I don't think he's held back there. That looks like a 6-metre vault without any trouble. You can't tell from that angle if the high point was above the bar or not, but the fact is his centre of gravity was boomed over that bar by a big, big margin. Pichardo then in this triple jump. Now the sensation of the horizontal jump so far this year. 18:08 in Havana last week, and he makes 1770 there, something like that. Look, just rather simple. Fabulous competition in Doha, Stu, and it was the first ever competition, him against Christian Taylor, to go over 18 metres. Boy, oh boy. Well, Julius Yago back in the javelin with 83.06. His best so far from his opening 2 efforts. Here he goes, round 3 for Yago, Commonwealth champion. Already has had a solid night, and that's not bad at all. That's looks beyond 84 metres. He's going in the right direction, is the Kenyan, improving. Opened with 83.06, then a solid, fairly modest second round throw, I suppose, 80 metres 69, but that one, 84.44 for Yago.
An investigation by the BBC has uncovered allegations that Mo Farah's coach Alberto Salazar was involved in banned doping practices with 10,000-metre Olympic silver medalist Galen Rupp. There's no suggestion Farah has broken any anti-doping rules. Both Salazar and Rupp strenuously deny the allegations, which include claims that Salazar gave Galen Rupp testosterone in 2002, and further claims from people who worked with Alberto Salazar that he manipulated the rules to use medically approved drugs and practices that would otherwise have been banned. We'll have more on this story in our coverage of the Birmingham Grand Prix tomorrow afternoon on BBC Two. We're live at the Alexander Stadium from 1:30.
Well, Trest has got a very important jump for her personal competition here at 190. No. Nowhere near that. The Italian has gone from this high jump competition a third and final attempt at 1.90 m. And so she's not going to approach that form that she showed in 2013.
Over to the vault then. And Gripic, last attempt for him at 5.71. The Russian in a little bit of trouble, as are so many of them. Very experienced though. He's performed in the European Team Championships of Russia on a couple of occasions, finished second and third for them. Third and final attempt for the Russian then, Gripic, 5.71. Yes! Oh! Gives it a little clatter, wriggles over it. No wonder he's smiling. He knows that was a little bit of a cheeky one. Isn't it amazing how he's struggling so hard to get a 5.71? Actually comes down on it. To be fair, he had the height there. It's just the high point wasn't above the bar, and he so nearly brought it off on the way down.
Well, Pichardo, let's just have a look at the triple jump now. The Cuban, who really is going well, and that's a big jump, and that's close to 18 meters. Well, what about that? World Championship silver medalist in 2013. He's got an 18.08 set in Havana, and that was a super jump.
20 starters, Jesus Hispana, in the twilight of his career now, 36 years old. The Spaniard who won the European Championships back in 2006, beat Mo Farah. I think it was about the last time Mo Farah was beaten by a European. Kejelcha, he's the young man who's on fire at the moment. And what a surprise he has turned out to be. Just 17 years old, winner in Eugene last week over 5,000 metres. Gebremeskel, of course, a very well-known Gebremeskel and so experienced, Olympic silver medalist behind Mo Farah in London. Longasiwa, look out for him too, a man with a 12.49 personal best, the 12th fastest man in history. I can tell you that the race includes 5 of the fastest men in history, all of them faster than Mo Farah's personal best, by the way, all under 12.50. It includes the 2nd, 3rd and 5th places in the London Olympic 5,000. It is an absolutely jam-packed field. You could almost say the only man missing is one Mo Farah, but of course he is recovering from that fabulous win over 10,000 metres 6 days ago. That was on Friday last week in a pre-distance night in Eugene. Well, 20 starters, it is a big field. There are 2 pacemakers. Ismail Kombic is due to take them out for the first kilometre in, wait for it, 2:32. Well, that's just about world record tempo, but they are going to settle down, we understand, if he can do his job, with Jeffrey Barusai taking over and going through 2,000 in 5:07 and 3,000 in 7:44, which is about 12:52 pace. So they are looking for something well under 13 minutes here tonight, and it's well set up for it too in these conditions with pacemakers. And this is a worryingly familiar scenario from all the races we've seen so far this summer in the 3 Diamond Leagues prior to tonight and in other meetings. The athletes failing to go with the pacemakers, though as I say that, there was a little bit more of a taker there in the figure of Tanui. He slots into 3rd place, and it's good that he's just squeezed into that gap, Paul Tanui. He's a World Championship bronze medalist from Moscow, based in Japan. That means he'll be well drilled into what he needs to achieve from each race, Tanui. That's him in the orange.
Well, this is Kova, the high jump, and just catching up with a high jump competition that really hasn't really got going this year. She gets good height. Gacina, she's actually a very, very good athlete. She heads the world list this year, does Lichwienko. And this is Philippidis of Greece in the pole vault. We're going very quickly from one to the other, aren't we? It's World Indoor Championship champion indoors. This man, he's done very nicely indeed, and he goes clear. And Philippidis at third attempt there at 5:70.71, so he goes clear at that. I like the way he's so aggressive on the approach, and that's very, very important. You've got to really charge into that plant, and that's exactly what Konstantinos Philippidis does. 5:75 is his season's best, so he's very close to that. He's got a personal best of 5:82, which was a couple of seasons ago, set in Doha, that first event of the Diamond League season. But now Gacina, the first attempt then at 1:94 in second place at the moment. Oh, that was nice. No failures yet. World Indoor Champion last year.
Back to this 5,000 metres, they go through 4 laps, almost exactly on schedule there, and 4:08, so they've done a really good job, these pacemakers, so far. In third place there, the man who is going to finish the race, the leader in effect of those who will finish the race, is Tanui. Ali Kaya has worked very hard, the Turk there, to move up to fourth place, to bridge that gap over the last 400 metres. They went through 1 kilometre in 2:34, so a little bit outside what was planned, but they have picked it up well since then. They come down below us with 8 laps to run, and these 4, well, there's a gap of about 15 metres behind Ali Kaya, as you can see, and nobody really seems too bothered about bridging that gap, and it is a growing gap too, I have to say.
Well, we can go and have a look and see. I mentioned Ruth Batir of Spain. Let's see what she can do. Nice clearance for her at 1:94, so she's had no failures thus far. Batir, she's 36 now, and the national title, incidentally, from 2003 to 2014. She only lost out in 3 seasons during that period. That's another good series. That's the season's best.
Well, I'll tell you what, they are tanking along. They've gone through 2,000 in 5:08.8, so they're on schedule for about 7:43 at 3,000 metres. If they were running 62s, in other words 5:10 at 2,000, they'd be on 7:45 pace for 3,000. Barusa doing a great job here. Tanui in second place, Kaya in third. Merger is up there as well, and just behind Longasiwa. And some big names, Lawi Lalang there. Well, he's a 13-minute dead man, and he's beginning to struggle.
Now, Pitkamaki has got a best this season of beyond 88.62. He's got a personal best of 91.53, but I wonder if he can repeat that sort of performance here. That's launched that very well, and that's going to be about 83.5 probably. It's very, very fine margins between really hitting that javelin well, but he is chasing Vesely's 88.14, and I have a feeling that Vesely is retired from the competition. I have a feeling he's retired after that 88.14 and allowing the rest to go. But that's third place at 82.72. He's just behind Julius Yego, incidentally, of Kenya. Now then, second placer, 4th round, Yego. 84.44 in the third round, just to update you on that. Chasing 88, he really hit that one. Absolutely hammered that. Oh, and that's a fine throw. That's way beyond 85 metres. Now, Yego, very, very good performance from him. And I tell you what, coming into the championships, he's really beginning to prove it. 86.88 is his season's best. His personal best is the same. That's this season, and I reckon that's a better one. The meeting record's 90.34, but 87.71, a national record for Kenya.
They've just gone through 3,000 in this 5,000 metres in 7:46.8. Tanui it is at the front now. Kaya in second place. Edris has made a big move over the last 400 metres up into third place. But as you can see, we've got a pack of 9 men now, and Kejelcha is there, the tallest of them all, the youngest of them all, by several years, if we're to believe his age. I mean, it is extraordinary, because you look at that fella, and he certainly doesn't look 17, but he is, we understand, and he's in supreme form. And frankly, I was looking as he came down the home straight a lap ago, and he looked like he was jogging. It was a slowish lap, about a 64, but it's Tanui from Edris, from Murgia, he's going strongly at the moment. Then Kejelcha almost looks like he's hovering there in fourth place, just biding his time. FIFA, by the way, you'll be interested to know about his progress. He's up there as well, the Moroccan, in 6th place as they go through with 4 laps to run. And it has slowed, there's no doubt about it. That's a shame.
Anna Simic in the high jump, just catching up with that event here. Another clearance for her. Simic at second attempt at 194, gets it. Very nice. Now Simic, of course, has been much higher than that in the past. 5 times a national champion. She's a 199 at her best. Blanka Vlasic then, world champion twice, Olympic silver medalist, just to remind you of that, back in 2008. She's had lots of injury, and she had a very bad infection after an injury that kept her out for a whole season, and she's desperately trying to come back to the sort of form that took her to her personal best of 2 meters and 8 centimeters. That was back in 2009. This is critical for her, though. Hasn't looked good so far, but got one more attempt at 194. Oh yes, oh yes. Modest little character. Have another look at that. Good lift. Third attempt, success for her. I make it down, well, there it is in 6th place.
10:26 at 4,000 metres. That was by far the slowest kilometre of the race, outside 2:40 for this pack, which has gathered now, and it's 10 strong. And as they come down the home straight, it's still Tanui there, doing the leading, determined to stay out in front. Gebriwet and Gebremeskel are there. Kejelcha on the outside, Edris on the inside. Our friend FIFA, as they go through with 800 to go, just a click outside 11 minutes. How quickly will they cover this last 800 metres? Murgia's there as well. It's going to be a sprinter's race. By the way, FIFA, Ilyas FIFA, the 26-year-old Moroccan, who I've never heard of before, in about 6th place there, came into this race with a personal best of 7:49, and he's gone through 3,000, for 3,000 that is, and he's gone through 3,000 tonight in about 7:47, so he's setting personal bests en route. Nobody yet, though, has really hit the floor, have they, with their foot? Nobody's really put the hammer down and gone hard for this one from a long way out, but Tanui winding it up nicely at the moment, just doing enough to stay out in front. Able to respond from there. If you're boxed or towards the back of that field and somebody kicks in hard, you could be in trouble. You give them 5 or 10 yards before you can really react yourself. Longer see where it is on the inside, side Gebriwet. Kejelcha looking so comfortable there on the outside. But they come towards the bell now in this 5,000 metres. Tanui still leading. The winner in the 5,000 metres in that distance running cathedral of Eugene last week, Kejelcha in 2nd place now. And they kick hard there, and away they go, and it's Gebriwet from Kejelcha. The pack beginning to break up straight away, and Tanui struggling to go with them. Koech is there too. Down the back straight, it's still anybody's race. Kejelcha, look how relaxed he looks, the tall, thin fella. Hits the front for the first time with 200 metres to run. Longer see where it is in 3rd place. Murgia is there as well too, he kicks hard. And Tanui's coming back at them. Oh my word, it's anybody's race off the final end. Kejelcha from Gebriwet. Murgia. And down the home straight is Kejelcha again. Gets the meter. And then a glance over his shoulder. And Tanui coming through like a train in the orange. It's Kejelcha from Gebriwet. And Tanui grabs 2nd place, but Kejelcha takes it there. Boy, oh boy, the final lap, 54.55. And it is the quickest time in the world this year. That is some run from young Yomif Kejelcha. My only fear for him, Stuart, is that he's 17 years old. He's having the time of his life, running incredibly well in Doha and then in Eugene and then here tonight with jet lag in his legs. He's looked supreme running 12:58. But you know, those World Championships are months away, literally.
Yeah, they are, and you have to say there's a young man who's experienced beyond his years, really. He ran that absolutely beautifully. He looked relaxed all the way through, and if he can look that relaxed at 12:58, then, well, the rest of the world have got to fear him, including Mo.
Confirmation, though, that the first 5 went under 13 minutes in Rome tonight in the 5,000 metres. Another big win for Yomif Kejelcha, the Ethiopian beating Tanui and Gebriwet into second and third.
Well, Blanka Vlasic in the high jump once again. She cleared 194 on her third attempt. Oh, yes! 197. And that is a first-time clearance. She is back now. That was a much better attempt. Having cleared that 194, got that out of her system, and now, of course, is starting to approach respectability in 2 meters. That's better. The champion of the past is coming back to form in this World Championship year.
Well, Tiago Braz then. Second time clearance at 5:71. Now the Brazilian finds himself in a bit of trouble. Real trouble this time. 5:81. Third and final attempt. Good speed. Oh, that's nice. Perfectly clear there, Tiago Braz. And that's just 2 centimetres shy of his lifetime best. It's a big season's best. Cleared 5:75 in Ostrava. But that third time clearance, at 5 meters 81. I can tell you that Renaud Lavillenie is passing at this height. Means that he is in the lead at the moment, the only athlete clear at this height.
News about Sally Pearson's only just come to us that it appears that there is a fracture of a bone, whether it's wrist or arm, we don't know. Well, next back to the track for the women's 400 metres. Should be a good one, this. There's the lineup. Guay of France drawn in 1. Day of Jamaica 2. Greno, Italy 3. McCrory of the United States 4. Anne McPherson of Jamaica in 5. Novelyn Williams-Mills, Jamaica 6. Natasha Hastings, USA 7. Oya Zemlak of Ukraine in 8. And Kabanga Mpopo of Zambia in lane 9. Just looking at Hastings going off very, very quickly indeed. Already up on Zemlak of the Ukraine as they go into the back straight. Also going well is McPherson of Jamaica. Still a fair bit to do for McCrory. She's running a much more evenly paced race, and inside her Libiana Greno of Italy as they go through 200 metres now. It's pretty well even. Right on the outside, Mpopo going well, but surely she'll be run down. And here comes McCrory of the United States as they come off to 300 metres. And outside her is Natasha Hastings. McCrory is leading as they come into the straight. And between 2 and 3, she really has made some headway here. And McPherson in second place. McCrory, McPherson and Hastings, these three. McCrory leading at the moment. And can she hold on? Can she hold on, or will McPherson get there? McCrory wins. McPherson in second place. Hastings in third, 50.37. Went pretty well to the form book, that. Another Olympic champion in the relay, a world indoor champion. And she won in Doha. She's won against here. Can't quite get below that 50-second mark at the moment.
Well, that was really impressive, Stuart, wasn't it? She visibly surged coming into that second bend and just tore into the lead that the others had built up. Brilliant run from McCrory, who, of course, so notably won in Doha, beating Sandy Richards-Ross. And she's taken this one tonight pretty comfortably.
McCrory then 50.36, McPherson 50.53 and Hastings 50.67. There were 4 seasons' bests in that race, as one would expect at this early in the season.
Sean Walcott then in this men's javelin competition in 4th place at the moment. What can Walcott do here, the Olympic champion, of course? Oh, that's big. That's around 87 metres. Now, I don't think it's going to threaten the 88 that we saw from Vesely in round 2. but Walcott, boy oh boy.
Yeah, well, Jago was watching that as well because he's got an 87 plus. And remember, Walcott is the Olympic champion after all. You've got to be pretty good to do that.
He had a real hiccup, Stuart, in Doha. I don't know why. He was finishing 8th place there with 80 metres, but that 86 metres 20, a national record for the Trinidad and Tobago man. Further than he threw in the Olympic Games, further than he threw last year for silver in the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow.
So in the high jump, approaching the reasonable heights, and 197. Lewinko, I should say, of Poland. She came in here with an indoor performance of 2 meters and 2, incidentally, and really is going quite well. Her outdoor best is 199, so very much on form at the moment. At 197 was her second attempt at that height, as you can see, but she's still in that competition.
Back to this pole vault, and Tiago Braz hanging in there. You can see it's not a particularly tidy card, but it's good enough. 5 meters 86 the bar is now at for the Brazilian. Third time clearance at 581. Oh my word, goodness me, that's a new lifetime best for Braz. Fabulous stuff. And just checking, that I think is an area record, a South American record. 5 meters 83 it was. It's now 5 meters 86. First time too.
Ruth Betia, Spain then. Oh yes! Betia. Well, this young woman is really proving to be tough. A second attempt at 197. And she goes clear. Women's 1500 metres coming up next. And this should be a good one too, Tim.
It should. Big field, Stuart. 17 starters. A couple more than I like to see in these sort of races, but it is such a strong field. 4 athletes in the field have broken 4 minutes. Several others have run within a couple of seconds of 4 minutes. It includes notably Jenny Simpson, who had a wonderful win 5 days ago in Eugene. It includes Seyoum, the sensation, the young sensation of this season in the middle distances, who tops the world rankings. Dawit Seyoum with that win in Doha.
On your mark.
So the women's 1500 then. The meeting record is 3:56 by Sweden Zarigawi, the former Ethiopian. That was 3 years ago. That might be beyond them tonight, but of course Jenny Simpson, after so many years knocking on the door, going under 4 minutes for the first time last year. And she's going for it, Simpson too. Slots into what? 4th place at the moment. Laura Muir too. Very hungry for a strong run here tonight. She's just got to gauge her effort well. She slots into 3rd behind Sverdrup and Wafula. Then it's Muir and Simpson. She's looking for the European champion Hassan at the moment. And she's right towards the back, Hassan. Goodness me, she's won from the back. She's gone very, very cautiously. They go through 300 in about 47 seconds, 46.5 seconds. So it is a little on the quick side. If they maintain this, the pacemaker will go through in about 62.5, 63. Muir, though, is going with it. She's strong, she knows that. Might not have the kick that some of these other ladies can throw at it.
Well, certainly the Hassan is in very good form. She broke Ellen van Langen's 1,000-metre record in Hengelo just recently. Showed terrific speed there, so she's obviously been doing a little bit of speed work to come into this 1,500 metres. Seyoum is tucked in right in the middle there, as you say, but Hassan, I would think she'll start to make some headway shortly, because if not, she's going to get run out of this.
Well, Hassan has indeed. On that last 300 metres, she's moved right up to 6th place. She saw the danger, so we've got the 2 pacemakers, Sverdrup and Wafula. Then Laura Muir with a little bit of a gap, surprisingly, back to Jenny Simpson. Let's hope Muir's judging this right. In 5th place is the world number 1, Dawit Seyoum. Last year she ran 3:59 at the age of 17. That wouldn't be too bad for a fella. 2 laps to run as they go through. And Hassan has moved up into 6th place now. The rest of the pack, well, pretty stretched at this tempo, I have to say. Let's see what this second lap is. The first lap, by the way, 63.04 for the pacemakers. Muir, though, determined to hang on to those pacemakers. They go through 800 there. A 66.04, 209.08.
Well, certainly in Hengelo, Laura Muir was very, very impressive indeed. And look at Simpson coming through now. to take closer order and to assist to determine the tempo of this 1500 metres. She's now in second place as you look at the athletes as they line up, just ahead of Laura Muir, and the race now beginning to emerge.
Well, there's still a pack there, isn't there? Hassan moving around the outside in that red vest and just getting clipped there by one of the other athletes. Wafula needs to really run off the track now. She's just getting in the way. Look at that, getting caught up in all the traffic. Sayom now slots in behind Hassan. Laura Muir in fourth place on the outside as they come towards the bell. And they go through with Hassan in the lead from Sayom. Jenny Simpson is there in fourth place. She's looking strong and confident, isn't she, Muir? Running slightly wide on that penultimate bend as they head into the back straight. 300 metres to run, 1,200 metres. They were looking for 3:12. It's 3:14 at 64.99. Slightly slower that lap, but it doesn't matter. They're all still there. You've got a pack moving along almost at 4-minute tempo. Hassan from Sayom, Simpson in third, Muir in fourth. And moving very strongly too. In fifth place is Kibiwat, I think, as these five now get away. And Hassan kicking hard from the front. Sayom being stretched, but has she got the legs? Simpson deep in concentration there, moves onto the shoulder of the young Ethiopian. It's Hassan into the straight now, and she kicks again. Muir struggling in fourth place, but hanging on there ahead of Kibiwat. As it's Hassan leading from Simpson. Simpson coming through. Is she going to get there? She does. Simpson wins again from Hassan and Sayom, and Laura Muir comes across the line there in what is surely a personal best. I got her at about 4:01, maybe a click under 4:01. Brilliant running from the Briton. In fact, just checking her personal best, she was hundreds outside 4 minutes last year, but it's a fabulous performance from Laura Muir, the Briton, behind that trio in front of her. She would have had to be in supreme form to get amongst them. Jenny Simpson winning the race unofficially in 3:59.31. What a run it was from Simpson, judged to perfection, only really getting a nose in front to it for the first time with about 20 metres to go.
Yeah, she's a good tactician, isn't she? She knows what she's doing, she's experienced, and really she timed it absolutely perfectly. A lot of credit to Muir, the British athlete. She ran that very well. She did the best she possibly could. She ran that 3,000 in Hengelo and did very, very well there. A personal best by a big margin, but she couldn't contain the three in front, and I'm not surprised. There's a lot of pedigree there. And Simpson, Jenny Simpson, the United States world champion, remember, back in 2011, just did it when it mattered, and Hassan had to settle for second place, just ahead of Sayom of Ethiopia. Well, once again we go to the pole vault, and it's Renaud Lavillenie at 5:91. He had to go to this height to take on Braz. Oh yes, oh yes. First time clearance. Now let's get this right. He failed at 5:86 on his first occasion. He saw Braz go clear, so he then passed at 5:86. Goes to the next height because he knows he's got to go to a greater height to beat Braz. He didn't want to lose on countback, so he now leads at 5:91.
Blanka Vlasic then, second attempt at 2 metres. Already has cleared 1:97. It's been a wonderful evening for the Croatian. Of course, the high jump, don't forget, the vertical jumps are so dependent upon confidence. They're tremendously psychologically sensitive, and she's getting her confidence back. She's equalled the world best this year with that 1:97 clearance. First time too. That too she'll be very pleased about. But now at 2 metres, a height she's cleared dozens of times. No, and that wasn't close. So a little mental barrier as much as a physical barrier for Vlasic there.
Next, it's the men's 100 metres, and while many in the sport don't like it, the sprint season is being dominated by Justin Gatlin. He ran a personal best in Doha over 100 metres and followed it up by equalling his PB for 200 in Eugene. Until Usain Bolt goes head-to-head with him, Gatlin looks unstoppable.
Well, there's the lineup for the men's 100 metres. Sambini, the Republic of South Africa, in 1. Vicar of France in 2. Gatlin, USA 3. Carter, Jamaica 4. Rogers, USA 5. Collins and Kitson Nevis 6. Batson, USA 7, Adams USA 8, and Fisher Jamaica in lane 9. Long hold, but Gatling got away very well. Or he's already moving away from the rest of this field. And also Kim Collins going back, but Gatlin's away by a mile. Rogers and Vico and Rogers coming through. 9.74. He's done it again. Equal the world best. Now, whatever you think about this fella, he can run. He can run. 9.74 from start to finish. And the rest, well, were in his wake, weren't they? That's 3 very, very big victories in the 100 metres this season. 9.74 in Doha, 1968 over 200 metres in Eugene. He's got 9.75 on the clock now. Let's just look at it again. Rogers didn't get away too well. Carter was quite away, but then look at Gatlin go. Collins going well at this stage, and Rogers recovering, but Gatlin's away. Vico on the far side comes through very strongly to take second place, with Rogers holds on. So the European Jimmy Vico going very, very well indeed. But there was one man in this race setting a meeting record and taking away the record held by the fabulous Usain Bolt. Well, there's the result of that 100 metres. Justin Gatlin, 9.75, meeting record. Jimmy Vico in second place.
For many people, if there was a World Championship tomorrow, Justin Gatlin in lane 4, Usain Bolt in lane 5, you would win by a huge distance. Are they right?
There's not a World Championship tomorrow. So
but if it were?
I couldn't say that. You know, when you line up, especially in track and field, you never know what happens. So, you know, I like to say that I can go out there, I'm one of the best starters in the world, and hopefully I can take the field in the beginning and hold them off. But, you know, you got to understand that Usain is a gamer. He's going to come ready when it's time. And if it was tomorrow, then I have to make sure I'm on my P's and Q's and have my A game ready.
La Villenie at 6 metres and 1. Oh, it was so close, so close, so close. He's got one more attempt to go, and that at 6:01. Just to bring you up to date, he cleared 5:91, passed at 5:96, had 2 failures now at 6 metres and 1 in his attempt to erase Sergei Bubka's 1984 record, which stands at 5 metres and 94.
Litwinko. She's a 1:99 jumper. This would be a new personal best for her. 3rd and final attempt. In second place. She's equaled the world best, her own world best. No. And she's gone. Well, Ruth Beitia in this women's high jump competition. Here she goes at 2 metres. Oh, lovely! Brilliant clearance from Beitia. She's still going strong. She retired a couple of years ago and then decided she'd keep going and come back. And that's the first 2-metre jump in the world this year. The Spaniard is so consistent, so calm. European champion, of course, from last year in Zurich. European champion 2 years prior to that in Helsinki. And tonight, 2 metres yet again for Ruth Beitia. What a night it's been, as we can check the result of that men's triple jump. 17.96, a meeting record for Pablo Pichardo. 1, 2, 3 for the Cubans. Copello and Reve in second and third. And again, the distance is quite supreme in that particular distance. A meeting record for Pichardo.
It was a very, very big throw by Vesely. Yego got the national record for Kenya. Look at that, 87.71. And Walcott, the national record, the Olympic champion, 86.20 in third.
Well, there's the field for the 3,000 metres steeplechase. They're looking for an ambitious tempo of 3:02 for the first kilometre. Is this field? Only one woman has ever broken 9 minutes in history. That was Galkina back in 2008, winning the Olympics in Beijing. Only 10 women have ever gone sub 9 minutes 10. So it's not an easy territory to hit. Hiwot Ayalu is one of the few who has done it. She's run 9:09.
2 laps to run then in the ladies' steeplechase. Nyambura, the world number 1 at the moment, leading from the tall figure of Hiwot Ayalu, the Olympic 5th placer, World Championship 4th placer the following year, 2 years ago in Moscow. Boy, does she deserve a medal. And into the back straight for the penultimate time, and it has slowed. Nyambura, I don't know if she's doing this on purpose or what, but Heine is tucked into that group and they're beginning to bunch, and she needs to stride out here, does Nyambura, if she wants to reduce these numbers a little bit. Chepkurui, the World Championship silver medalist there for Kenya, in 5th place in the pink to the left of picture. But Heine's mixing it here with the best of the East Africans. It's really good to see. Beginning to move up now is Assefa in 6th place, the Olympic bronze medalist, 8th fastest in history, who was, as Stuart pointed out, only 7th in Doha. Really uncharacteristically poor run from her. Didn't run anywhere near as slow as that all of last year. Her time 9:35 in Doha. But they come towards the bell now. Nyambura from Kieng. And Ayalu is there as well. Chepkurui, the tall figure on the inside, looking strong at the moment, running the shortest line. Heine is still in there. 5 of them away. Heine's got to try and hang on to their coattails now as they go into the back straight for the final time. Nyambura loses the lead for the first time in this last kilometre, and she surges to try and keep that figure beside her at bay. Kieng it is, right alongside her, pushing hard to get pole position. Ayalu stalking the pair of them in 3rd place. Now Heine is struggling. She's back in 5th, but still having a solid run. She's got to try and gut it out this last 200 metres, the Australian, as the leaders head into the bend in the water jump for the final time. This is crucial. You can lose a metre or 2 with bad footwork. Nyambura skips over it, doesn't touch the barrier at all, leads into the straight now. And it's Nyambura with Kieng on the outside in the purple. On the inside, the tall figure of Ayalu. Looks like she's beaten at the moment. Treads on that final barrier. Awful clearance from her. And Kieng Edders, who kicks away towards the line. Watch the clock. This is fast. 9:15.08. They've covered that final kilometre in about 3 minutes. Brilliant running from Kieng there to steal the win from Nyambura. Ayalu losing a lot of ground at the final barrier, although she didn't have the legs anyway. But I tell you what, that's a heck of a run too, in the wake of those East African from Madeleine Heine. And I'm sure she will have run a personal best. She came here with 9:28.41 as a lifetime best. That was from Doha 3 weeks ago. The Commonwealth 4th placer has just run out of her skin. The winning time confirmed there for Kieng at 9:15.08.
Well, there's the lineup for the men's 200 metres now. Desalu of Italy drawn in lane 1, Marani of Italy in 2, Ujah of Great Britain in 3, and Kanata of Kenya in 4, Aaron Brown of Canada in 5, Lemaitre of France in 6, and then Sakonis of Greece in 7, Adams of USA in lane 8, and Hardy of the United States in lane 9.
Set.
They're off pretty well. Ujah got away well. Ujah's really motoring around the bend. Lemaitre going quite well. Brown inside him going well. But Ujah coming into the home straight right on the outside is Harry Adams going very strongly. And also Sakonis of Greece. And here goes Ujah. Sakonis of Greece is going to take this one. Lemaitre in 2nd place. And on the near side in lane 8, Harry Adams in 3rd. And I think then Ujah in 4th. But 20.10 the time for Sakonis of Greece. And that is a personal best for him, and plus 0.8, so it's legal. A very, very good run indeed.
Well, it was pretty impressive, wasn't it, from Sakonis eventually. 3rd to left. He didn't start particularly quickly. He built momentum, certainly at this stage, really, in the yellow spikes there. So the 4th from left, I thought that Lemaitre was in the lead halfway around the bend, but Sakonis, they're very strong off the bend, and he stays, rocking from side to side, stays ahead. They're trying to come back at him. Outside him, they're going really strongly as Harry Adams in the purple. Lemaitre, they're dipping there for 2nd place ahead of Adams, with Ujah in 4th place, as he rightly said, Stuart. But good conditions, it's still a warm evening, plus 0.8, enough following wind to give them a little bit of help. Well, now results computer here saying a meeting record, but it certainly wasn't, because the meeting record belongs to Walter Dix at 1986.
Renaud Lavillenie at 6:01. Third and final attempt for the Olympic champion, 3 times European champion. Oh, it looked so good, and it came down on the bar again. You can see that there's far more in there, and that look of frustration. It looked as though he'd got it, and he came back down on it, and so Sergei Bubka's meeting record at 5:94 remains. He's so determined. He charges down that runway. The plant is emphatic, and he comes down on that bar once again.
Lavillenie winning the pole vault with 5:91 from Thiago Brazza. South American record, an area record there, 5:86 for the Brazilian Gripic, 5:71, just taking third on countback from Philippidis. Next event on the track then, the women's 400-metre hurdles, and there is the lineup. European champion Ailey Child goes in lane 4 for Great Britain. It's a strong field, however. Look out in particular for Lashinda Demas of the USA, who goes in lane 3. The third fastest athlete in history, Demas, although her outings so far this year haven't been too impressive. In lane 4, Ailey Child. Probably has mixed feelings about her opening run of the season. It wasn't particularly quick, outside 56 seconds in a Strava. Well, the fastest time in the world this year is by Wenda Teron Nel of South Africa. In Beijing, she won with 54.37. That was just a couple of weeks ago, seems longer ago than that. But Nel is not here tonight, and that time looks vulnerable. The lineup from the inside again. Douwens in 1 for Belgium, Pedroso Vitali in 2. There's Demas, we just saw, in 3 for the USA. Child, European champion, in 4 for Britain. Titimetz 5, Tate 6, Russell 7, Moline 8, Ogogbonam lane 9. Away without any trouble. Who's first to rise? It's Demas, who've gone off very quickly indeed. Moline 2 on the outside there has made up good ground on Ogogbonam outside her. Left her picture, Moline in the pink, but third from right there as you look at them down the back straight. Demas is leading at the moment, looking very strong indeed. She is an aggressive racer, she's strong, she's confident. At least her confidence will grow if she has a good run here tonight. She's left Pedroso Vitali way behind her. She's to ride a picture at the moment. In lane 3 is Demas, clearing that one well, but so did Ailey Child, who's run a really good second bend. Child there, the European champion, comes into the straight with a slight lead. Good running from Moline nearest the camera. Moline in fact leading. It's Child got some work to do. Demas is going backwards now. It's back to the drawing board for her, but Moline skips over that final barrier with a lead. A real challenge coming through from Russell. Is she going to steal second from Ailey Child? She does indeed, or does the European champion dip there to take second place? The win, there's no doubt about that though. It was Georgianne Moline of the USA. She was the Olympic 5th placer, only 4th in Shanghai. A win here tonight in 54.48, it would seem, just outside that time of Teron Nel of South Africa, which still tops the world rankings. But a very impressive run indeed from Moline, out in lane 8.
Edith Child ran a very, very well-balanced race. She was in the right place at the right time, just needs a little bit more work, a little bit more strength, endurance in the final stages here. And it looked at one stage as though she was going to close down on Moline, but then she just faltered a little as the Jamaican came through with that 54.83. But season's best for pretty well everyone in that race. It's just been one of those nights. It's one of the early 400-metre hurdles, and of course those times will be bettered as we go through and approach the World Championships.
Next Saturday, we'll bring you highlights from the historic Bislett Games in Oslo. Steve Cram will lead our commentary team 30 years on from breaking the world record for the mile on the same track. Thank you for watching our Diamond League coverage from Rome. Tomorrow, it all moves to Birmingham and live coverage on BBC Two from the Alexander Stadium. Some of the very best of British talent on show. Join us for that one. Goodbye.
Well, on the way next, we're on the Olympic journey, finding out if you can be born to win.
Join me tonight on the John Bishop